Sarah Johnson and Gorka.
Well, Gorka has got me beaten. And Sarah Johnson, the only body I can think with Sarah Johnson would be the Reed Dawn. Cuddle Reed Dawn.
Alright. How did she get that nickname?
Well, she was black red hair.
Councillor Marshall.
Miss Marshall.
Is it Miss?
Miss Marshall,
Miss.
yes.
Unusual that to have a Miss.
Well, Miss Marshall was on the council.
Aye.
Miss Marshall was the first, was the person that got the first public toilet down in the harbour.
Ah.
Before that, the only public toilet was at the station,
Uh-huh.
which wasn't really a public, it was for
the station.
Well, Miss Marshall she lived where Thingaby's office is, Thingaby and Henry.
Oh, Williamson and Henry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, aye.
I'm sure that that was where it was either her or Miss Hood, but they lived in that house and she was in the council.
Uh-huh.
But in these days the shows come in and there was no floor beds or anything like that.
Just open.
Big open space. And the shows was right onto the street.
Uh-huh.
And I reckon she got that fed up with the noise. They went on to 11 o'clock at night.
Aye.
She was on the council and her first go off she built the public toilets,
Aye.
which that curtailed it a bit.
Aye.
And I think she would be, the next go off she would make the next lot of floor beds weren't very big.
Aye.
But that was to stop the
shows getting on the rod. Mrs. Jai Maltman. And it says she's wearing a dolman, and I looked it up in the dictionary, and a dolman's a cloak.
Well, the only Matman I ken was
Nicky Matman.
Nicky Matman, but whether that was his, I don't know. I just ken Nicky. At the fruit used to be up on the screen, the big screen up in the thing with the adverts on it.
All right.
It used to say Nicky for fresh fruit.
All right. I can mind Nicky driving the scale bus.
Aye.
It was an old scale bus, so that was the modern thing.
But I can't.
Right. Now the next one's Wee Willie Nish.
Well, he was a gardener,
Oh.
a retired gardener, and he had rooms off Bede McDonald.
All right. Aye.
His eldest son was in the bank. Before the war, he went away to the Argentine, worked the bank there and never come back.
Right.
And then the daughter Margaret Nish, she married a soldier just after the war, and they lived in Gladstone Place.
Gladstone Place, all right.
And then the boy, he was in RAF, he was a regular in RAF. I met him in India, spoke to him in India.
During the war?
Aye. And I was up at Kirkcudbright, and Tom Johnson said to me, did he ken a Jim Nish? I said, aye. I said, why, well, he says, there's a chap here looking for his mother's grave.
Aye.
Margaret Nish. She was buried up there. But when I found Jim Nish's grave, I don't know how it happened. He died in Los Angeles.
Ah.
His grave is on the same stain as his sister. But he died, how he would be in Los Angeles, I don't know.
Well, I missed that. Just shows you how folk moved.
But he was a professional gardener. When I knew Mr. Nish, he was retired, and he had rooms off Bede McDonald.
Peter Collins, I can mind the Peter Collins who was a painter.
I
can mind him doing it at the Stuart of Derry.
Aye, he was painter at the Stuart of Derry, Peter. And that was his sister that had the fish shop. You know,
that's right. What shop's that now? Mug shots. The water used to run down the window, inside. How are the fish?
Your uncle was married to Margaret Collins.
That's right, Sam.
Sam.
Big Bob Juan.
Swanee's feather.
Oh, Swanee's feather, aye.
He was a hard man, Bob, but he was well, at the time he had 20 men working for him. He didn't drain in and they fenced and all these kind of things.
Right.
But
the drink. And then we've got another big here, we've got Big Mary Higgins.
Well, the only Higgins is that kid was Hughie Higgins.
Ah, Hughes.
And the Alice lassie, she worked in that chemist shop down there in St Mary Street. But I never heard her, we never.
Big. It was maybe put out the rhyme.
Aye, well, that was where she never, I don't think she ever was married. I don't
Aye.
think she ever was married.
Because there's a few bigs in and there's a few wee here. We've got the next one is wee Bob Connell.
Aye, that Dickie Connell, Bob Connell, that was his father that built next door.
Ah. The lodge.
The lodge, aye.
Ah.
Well, he'd be Dickie Connell.
I ken Dickie, up at Tumlin now, aye.
Aye, but it's that Bob
Bob.
Connell.
Aye.
Well, he worked for GPO, he was a linesman,
Aye.
telephones. And Dickie Connell was his brother.
Oh, I see, aye.
Bob Connell would be Dickie's father.
Aye.
He had Dickie
Aye.
now.
That's right.
But Al Connell, he built this, he built
Alright.
next door.
Aye.
They used to say when they were building it, lay up in the park with a bottle of whiskey and shouted, doing put another bloody story on.
Nothing's changed in Kirkcudbright, is it? The same word is. The next one's Harry Munnell.
Aye, well, Harry's folk stayed in the tan pits. There was all houses in the tan pits, ran up down. And Harry, well, I think the mother and father would die. Harry stayed in digs with Mrs. Little next door.
Oh,
But I'm not very sure. I think Drew Ferguson and him joined the army together. When I mind of Harry, he was working at the the milk powder factory.
oh,
And they seem to disappear. And I often wonder if they went and joined the army, I'm not being hung.
it's not a name I've heard before in Kirkcudbright, Munnell.
No.
No.
But that's where they stayed. They stayed in the tan pits.
Oh, aye,
The old houses was knocked down. There's 3 old houses
aye.
in there.
Oh, right, aye.
That's where the man stayed.
Now we've got another one, his young Harry Gourley. Fade Estelle, it says.
Well, Harry, Harry would work with his father at bigger store.
All right, aye.
There was Jock Gourley and Harry Gourley and
aye,
Danny
I ken
Gourley.
that, aye,
There was a big family though.
aye.
But that's where I'll tell you, he used to do a bit of draining. Aye, Harry did.
It must have been, it just shows you what year this would be written in, because it says young Harry Gourley. Well, I can mind him, he wasn't young. Old man Kim.
Stayed down that close out of the street there. Well, he didn't that close.
All right, aye.
He was manager of the Picture House there.
The next one's a funny name, it's Gutty.
Gutty Ferguson.
Oh, Gutty Ferguson.
Aye, Gutty Ferguson. Gutty Ferguson and Poy, Al Poy, young Poy's father, and Gutty. And I didn't again whether it was Al Seaton Hannah, no, but they were in Egypt during the First World War.
First World War, aye.
And somebody says, there's the Star of Bethlehem. Actually, Christ says it was the Star of
China. Now the next is an unusual name, Sonny the Beast.
Oh, it's Sonny Poland.
Is that the Sonny Pole now would call?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Oh, they call him Sonny the Beast.
Sonny the Beast.
I can mind him trundling along the street with a kit and selling flounders. He used to ken Sonny with the racing pigeons. He used to get up and run with the rubber ring off the pigeons to the clock.
They weren't coming down Sonny for shooting them. They weren't trapping. And he'd run to what he came was Shields.
Aye.
Shields had a wee shop in St Mary Street, and there was only one clock. So whoever's bird come in at the run to Shields' shop,
Aye. See, that's afore my day, because that club was the station master, I think.
Tom Connell's mother's brother Fudgy, who was a great pigeon man. And Sanny was a great pigeon man. And the Middletons doing Fisher's Close were pigeon men. So he'd the Middletons, and then he'd Wilson Camel, and then he had Sanny along in Steeple Close. And he had to run with the rings and something's young laddie had a Seaton's boy. He ran down through the Kirkcudbright, and boy was waiting at the other end of the
runner.
There was only one clock. Al James McMillan was a great pigeon man then.
That was, when I came to Sanny, that would be years and years later, but I was still running for him. We hadn't a clock then either. And he stayed next to the best wee plumber in the town, Jock Merton. And what a carry on if the 12 pigeons came at the same time. Jock wanted his in first, and Sanny would be cursing and swearing his came a minute before.
Annika
he was a lad of that. The next name I've got Suki Stitt.
Oh well.
Is that Una's feather?
Aye.
Suki, I can't Suki. I can mind they used to go and gambling up in the Bar Hill Wood, a big crew on the Sunday afternoon.
Johnny Blair had a penny with him. Johnny standing aside, somebody looked at the camera. I'll have a penny with him. George Maxwell, ex-policeman, Newcastle. Big man. He didn't. It helped me still. Jordy, he whitewashed. He can when the whitewashed the closes and things like that. He dug gardens and that. But he told me he was a sergeant of the police in Newcastle. But he says on a Saturday night, he says there was a hell of a mix up in the middle of Newcastle. The traffic was out of line. And what happened, Jordy? He says I was drunk. Well, he stayed down the lodge in his close. Down the lodge in his close, right there was at the bottom, there was a wee lean-to, well it was a wee building. And Jordy, hardly maybe sleeping in Bex, I think. But this next, it came a terrible rain and wind and that. It fell on the tap. The lake and the right night was that all, and the rain got in, and it was just kind of mud that slid down in the tap one. But I think Mrs. Johnson, when she moved into Castle Mains there, she bought that house down there, and I come in, it was Jordy that dug to put the big cesspit thing in there. I think she maybe kind of get him. But he whitewashed closes and gardens, a great big, well-built man. But at that time he didn't drink. But the whole house fell down in the tap hole, down the lodging house.
That would be the good old days. Your roof would find that. Next we've got is Leaf Murray.
The lodging house.
Now this lodging house, that was down the close where Harry Marlin, isn't it? Harry Marlin's at the top. And then the lodging house, I think it belongs to David Collin, I think, does it?
Aye. There's some place.
I've heard it often, but it's quite a wee place, isn't it? It's quite a wee bit.
Well, when you would do 30 steps, and that's where Al Kate and wee Kate and Jordy and Jim stayed. Then you went up the stairs and there's this kind of long room. There's 4 or 5 beds in it. There's Leif Roy and Pat McCullough, I think, at the finish. And wee Jimmy, I can't remember his name, he used to be a tin lid in this thing and stand and barrel it again. And the only thing that turned, there was he'd stand and turn the roller for long enough. Provost Rob was good to him. He stood half bad feet, and he stood beside Provost Rob and commit me and something. Where Jimmy went, but I think the boys, I don't know who. I didn't get much of food costed to maybe 6pence a night. I didn't get much to stay at the lodging house, but wee Jimmy seemed to I could never mind him anywhere else but in the Legends.
Harry Beattie, I can mind a Harry, he was a grocer, wasn't he?
Aye, Hernell Hall. He was originally in the corner shop, but he sold it to the Stuart Dairy and moved to Yennalam.
It's a Tolbooth Crafts now, isn't it? Used to be Neil Hall's, it's a Tolbooth Crafts shop.
And the woman said to him, come in to serve him, and there was a wee fire behind the counter, and he was standing. And she says, is that your Ayrshire bacon? No, he says, it's my hands and warm.
Well, I've got Hugh Gourley here.
Hugh Gourley is a gardener. Stayed down McCahey's Close, which they have now renamed Rankin Place.
Alright, okay, opposite the police station.
Aye. That was McCahey's Close, but when Miss Rankin died, seemingly she said to the town council she would leave them all the property. I don't think she'd only would have left, provided they called it Rankin Place. But it's McCahey's. Johnny, oh, he was a great cricketer. I think cricket would be the main kind of thing here before the Fidba. And Johnny was a great batsman. But if you seen him in the street, you can. You wouldn't think he could be it. But he sold tatties. In the gardens where Dovecroft's built. He put in leaks and things and went round the town and sold them. Willie Gore was his kind of man. The marigold things. He got a bunch of them for tips.